And our story is tennis. G'day, welcome to this Australian Open Live. It is the US Open 2023. It's the second day of the first round, and today we focus on the women. Yesterday we had two live matches broadcasting live from Melbourne, Australia. The studios of Wise Words Media, producers of this Australian Open Live. And thanks for joining us. We've got a match underway. I believe it is on court. It's on court. It is on court 15. It's been going about 45 minutes. It is the match between Carolina Pliskova and Elena Gabriela Ruse of Romania. And they are underway in the second set. So let's not muck around. Let's do a little bit of this. So whenever you hear that stinger there, we're shifting gears, and let's bring up the live score for you on screen. You'll also notice that we've got the score there to the slam tracker for this match is in the chat. You can follow the stats yourself if you like. You're more than welcome to. But it'll be here on screen mostly throughout this broadcast coverage. And the match, 45 minutes it's been going between Pliskova, the 25th seed from the Czech Republic, and Elena Gabriela Ruse of Romania, who leads 2-1 in the second set, 2-1. She lost the first set 1-6. I wonder if she was still thinking about the Carabao Cup game between Fulham hosting Tottenham Hotspur. That's where our attention was since 4:45 this morning, and you wouldn't want to know, but Ange Postecoglou, the Australian manager, couldn't get Spurs over the line this morning in the penalty shootout. They would have won the game but for an own goal in the first half and a missed penalty in the shootout. The margins are so fine, and that's what we keep saying here at this Australian Open Live. At the elite level of sport, the margins are so fine. So don't let the scoreboard fool you. Elena Ruse from Romania, she is far from done in this match. There's a change of ends at the moment, I'm pretty sure. For these ladies, we'll just double check that because I don't trust my browser. But there's a change of ends at the moment. This match we've just plucked out of thin air off the schedule with for no particular reason. We just like to bring you coverage of players that are, well, since we're in New York, these ladies are a little bit off Broadway out on court 14. And there's a bit of a delay in the match. Is it because of the weather? No, it is not. At 5:36 p.m, this is the last of the day matches on schedule today. Day 2 of the 2023 US Open. It's just going up to 5:40 in the late afternoon. And the Yanks are getting fairly colourful with their weather forecast. There's more clouds than sun over New York at the moment, and 25 degrees. So the delay on court could be just somebody taking a toilet break, perhaps, or maybe they are getting an injury attended to. Can't tell you exactly why, because Wise Words Media, we punch above our weight, but unfortunately that punch, we can't land a punch on the broadcast rights to footage for the US Open, so we got the next best thing. We're following it live from Melbourne, Australia, home of the Australian Open. So while these girls are taking a break, why don't we take a breath, go boil the kettle, make yourself a cup of tea or coffee, grab yourself a Dunkin' Donut and pretend you're in New York in the stands watching court 14, Carolina Pliskova, the 25th seed from Czech Republic. She is leading 6-1 but down 1-2 in the second set. Don't go away, we'll be right back. We tell stories and our story is tennis. G'day, welcome back to this Australian Open Live. It is day 2, first round US Open 2023. We are bringing live match play coverage of the match on court 14 between Karolina Pliskova and Elena Ruse. And we've got the score there for you, live. And if you want to just see how the match has been running at the moment, there's a delay there on court 14 at the moment. Not too sure why. Certainly not a retirement. So I hope somebody isn't injured, because we want to bring you a full set from this match. We plucked this one out from thin air because we want to bring you the players that are a little bit off Broadway and learn a bit about them, because Pliskova, a fairly well-known player, I would argue, but Elena Gabriela Ruse, let's learn a bit about her. But let's have a look at how these girls shape up in terms of the stats that matter. The stats that, I mean, the margins are so thin between players at the top level. So let's see if we can separate them while there is this delay, and see if we can pick a winner through the stats that matter. Break points saved on serve for Elena Gabriela Ruse, the Romanian player. She generally wins 55% of break points faced on her own serve. So she's breaking even. And when she's trying to put pressure on the serve of her opponent, she generally converts those break points 41% of the time, which are pretty decent stats at this level. And the stats probably reflect, you know, how demanding it is at the elite level to make an impact, to beat your opponent at this level. The match between these ladies on court 14, there is a lengthy delay. I'll just refresh my screen because that sometimes does catch me out before we go on to the stats that matter for Karolina Pliskova. They're underway again, and Karolina Pliskova serving at 117 miles per hour. That is a really decent whack on the WTA Tour. 117 miles per hour. So this match, it's back underway. Pliskova leading 15-love on serve in the 4th game of the 2nd set. And if Elena Gabriela Ruse can put some pressure on the serve of Karolina Pliskova again, she'll be finding it a bit tough, because 56% of the time you're going to find that Pliskova saves those breakpoint opportunities against her. But when she's trying to convert break points, put pressure on the serve of her opponent, she's generally succeeding around about 49% of the time. So the stats that matter provide an insight, a brief insight, not an overall insight, but there won't be any breakpoint opportunities here for Elena Gabriela Ruse of Romania. She's down. She was down love 40 on the serve of Pliskova. And there you go. It is now 2-all in the 2nd set. 57 minutes have gone in the duration of this match so far. We joined a little late. This match, apologies, because our eye was on the Carabao Cup in London. Ange Postecoglou unable to get Tottenham Hotspur over the line this morning in the penalty shootout. Fulham getting up 2-1, getting up 5 penalties to 4, an own goal in the first half. But for that, Tottenham would have got through. But here we are in New York, and that's the reason why I've joined this match a little bit late. They were 3 games into this 2nd set by the time we joined them on court 14. This women's singles round 1 match, as Elena Gabriela Ruse looks to make amends for her sluggish start. I wonder if she's a Tottenham supporter and was thinking about that game at Craven Cottage. I doubt it, but we can dream, can't we? And she now leads 15-love. in the fifth game of the second set, serving at 98 miles per hour. Is that a second serve? A little bit hard to tell. I'd say maybe it is, because Pliskova sent down a serve at 115 miles per hour in her serve immediately recent service game. So 77 miles per hour, that second serve for Ruse of Romania. And as we tick into an hour, this match has been going. She now leads 30-love on serve. So we're going to take a look at the lead-up for these players so far in 2023. How did they perform so far in the lead-up to the US Open? Let's take a look since Wimbledon. We won't cover Wimbledon, but the tournaments that these two players have contested since Wimbledon, and their form in the lead up to the US Open through the US hardcourt season might tell us a bit about their form. I would say, looking at this scorecard, I'm guessing that Ruse of Romania, I think she's finding her service game is a bit tricky in this second set at 2-all. She's lost that next point and leads 30-15. Let's see how she's been going this year leading into the US Open. Well, after Wimbledon, she went back home to Romania to the IRC BCR Open, and in July, that was on clay, and she was a direct entry into the round of 32, but she lost that opening match 4-6, 1-6 to her opponent from Switzerland, Connie Perrin. And then she travelled on to America to compete at the WTA 125 Tour tournament on hard courts at the Golden Gate Open at Stanford in California, suggesting to me that's not far away from San Francisco. Her first round match there, direct entry, she lost that to, from Montenegro, Danka Kamincic. She lost that in 3 sets, 6-3, 5-7, 5-7. Her opponent ranked 95 in the world, so it was a good hit out and seeded 8 there, Danka from Montenegro. You will see on the screen there that this fifth game of the second set is now completed, and this first round match might go the distance to 3 sets if Elena Gabriel Ruse, the unseeded player from Romania, has anything to say about it. Losing the first set 1-6, but she gets through a service game eventually, coming through from 30-15 to win, and goes 3-2 up in the second set. We're now looking at the serve. There's a delay again, change of ends for these ladies. So while they're on a change of ends, let's do a little bit of this. And we're going to take you to the Shotmaker Showcase. For those of you that like to be visually engaged, we're following the match in the first set on day 2 in the first round between Pliskova of Czech Republic, and Ruse of Romania. But let's just go to the Shotmaker Showcase to give you just a little taste of what's to come this summer in Melbourne, Australia, in January 2024, and some of the coverage. Oh, I've done it again. Some of the coverage that you can expect from this Australian Open life, and let's take a look at one of the players, one of the American players, since let's keep it all local instead of general. As I try to fix this up, and I've failed horribly. So let's just go to the Sights, Sounds, Summer of Tennis in Melbourne, Australia, and the score will be there for you on the screen as that comes up. For those of you that like to be visually engaged with your live broadcast experience, well, have a look at this to whet your appetite as you imagine yourselves there in New York, courtside on court 15, watching these two players go at it as you can see the score there on the screen in the right-hand corner. That'll keep you updated as we're following it, as we're waiting for play to recommence, and it has Karolina Pliskova, the 25th seed from Czech Republic, looking to level the match in the second set. She's trailing 2-3, but now leads 40-love on serve. I'd say she'll secure this game and draw level. But let's just take a look at how she's gone since Wimbledon in the lead-up throughout the US hard court season there in North America. She went from Wimbledon to Washington, D.C. to contest the WTA 500. Didn't go so well. A direct entry into that draw and came up against a qualifier, a very familiar name to us at this Australian Open Life, Hayley Baptiste. Nice win, Hayley. She's a gun, and she went bang and won in 3 sets. 1-6, 6-love, 3-6. My goodness, she must have been on fire that day, Hayley Baptiste. Or else maybe she just caught Karolina Pliskova on a bad day, perhaps. But she's not having a bad day today. Pliskova secures that service game and goes 3-all in the second set, and immediately takes a point, the opening point, off the serve of Elena Gabriel Ruse, the unseeded Romanian, serving at 101 miles per hour, looking to get back into this match and secure the second set. But you can see, as the sights, sounds, summer of tennis at Melbourne Park take us through in the background to whet your appetite. The next tournament contested by Karolina Pliskova, the 25th seed in the ladies' side of the draw at Flushing Meadow, New York, in Montreal, Canada, at the Omnium Banque Nationale event in Montreal in the first week of August, the second week of August, on a hard court. She had 2 rounds, won her first round match against Lin Zhu, the unseeded Chinese player, 6-3, 6-7, 6-2, and came up against Iga Swiatek, the number 1 seed, the number 1 women's ranked player in the world, and Swiatek went, thank you very much, 6-7, 2-6, and the final tournament contested by Karolina Pliskova, who has 3 break points on the serve of Elena Gabriel Ruse of Romania. And remember that she's converting around about 49% of the breakpoint opportunities she has in front of her for an opponent on serve. She's a big chance to take out this game and go to a 4-3 lead and sit down at the change of ends and think about wrapping up this match on serve. But Ruse sends down a 90 mile per hour serve. That second serve, the ball's in play, and we'll just stick with this because Pliskova will be looking to wrap up this match in 2 sets and charge through to the second round for her next match in a couple of days. And you can see that at Melbourne Park, quite a few players taking the opportunity to get any sort of practice in that they can. And we'll just refresh the screen on our side of things just to make sure that we're not inadvertently missing the action. And guess what? We did. They're already sitting down, already getting into their nutrition, having a banana or a sanger, because Karolina Pliskova has won that game, broken the serve of Elena Gabriel Ruse, the unseeded Romanian, and she now trails 3-4, 1-6 in this match. So can she break back against the serve of Karolina Pliskova? Well, if you're going to judge the form of the 25th seed from the Czech Republic, you'd say, well, she's a chance, because she didn't really have a huge run of matches and game time in tournament play, and that was exactly the case in Cincinnati at the Western and Southern Open. That's a WTA 1000 tournament on hard court there in Cincinnati, and in the first round match that she faced it was Jelena Ostapenko, the unseeded Latvian, who won in 3 sets, defeating Karolina Pliskova 6-1, 3-6, 4-6. So the trend that I'm seeing here is that Karolina Pliskova has been fading out after the first set, whether she plays 2 sets or 3 sets. So if you were looking at that form guide, if you were the coach of Elena Gabriel Ruse, the unseeded Romanian, you'd be saying to her, well, look, all you got to do is just hang in there, and maybe you might snag the first set, and if you're down a set, just keep at it, because Pliskova, in 2023, since Wimbledon, just doesn't seem to have the goods as far as a solid game goes. But guess what? Pliskova has come out on fire, winning the first set 6-1, and she's up 4-3 in the second set, and it's 15-all as they come out from the break on the serve of the 25th seed from the Czech Republic. So let us know what you think in the comments. And before you do that, let us do this. And whenever you hear that stinger, we are just switching things up a gear. And let's just go back, just straighten up a bit, and just follow this scorecard, because it's the momentum has not swung back the way of the unseeded player from Romania. She's performing, no problem. She's performing quite well in this second set, but having gone down a break in the second set, she's got to swing the momentum back her way in her favour, let's be honest. And at 30-all, she has a chance to do that, so she's kind of on even footing, but she really needs to break the serve of Pliskova. So the reason we've switched gears a bit is because I just want to highlight, for those of you that are following along, you only have to be a subscriber for a grand total of 60 seconds, because we want you to join the conversation in the live chat during this live broadcast of this match on day 2. It's Tuesday the 29th of August in New York, and it's the final match in the day session here on Court 14. So we've thrown a few details in the chat there for you. The schedule of play, the link to the live IBM Slam Tracker for this match. Unfortunately, we can't scroll down on this screen through the broadcast software, so we've put up the we've put that up there for you, so you can follow the stats yourself if you want to see how this match is going. And if you do that, you can actually follow this point by point, because on the serve of Pliskova, Elena Gabriel Ruse wins the point to go to deuce with a backhand winner, but immediately Pliskova goes to an advantage on her own serve and hits a forehand winner. So what we're going to do is follow this game through to its conclusion, and hopefully Ruse can come out and serve to stay in the match. She's down to the advantage of Pliskova. But what we'll do, regardless, after this match game is completed, and there it goes, Pliskova goes to a 5-3 lead with a forehand volley winner. So she is switched on. Is Karolina Pliskova, the 25th seed, leading 6-1, 5-3. They're on a change of ends. This game has been going 1 hour and 12 minutes. So while the girls are having a change of ends and doing that, we're going to do this. And welcome back to this Australian Open Live. There is no change of ends as we go straight into the game on serve for Elena Gabriel Ruse. She is serving to stay in the match in the US Open. She leads 15-love on serve, down 5-3. And she wins that first point because Pliskova, a backhand unforced error. Let's follow this point by point. The wins percentage on second serve. Ruse is actually 62% success on her second serve, leading Pliskova only succeeding 57% of the time. Ruse goes up again, another unforced error, this time on the backhand from Pliskova. So Ruse will be feeling a little bit settled here. No pressure whatsoever on her serve. 30 love up, even though she's 3-5 down, if she can drag it back to 5-4, and she's a big chance because it is another unforced error. Three errors in a row. A first forced error, this time on the forehand from Pliskova, trailing love 40 in this game, which she would have hoped to basically break the serve, and she fails to do that to love. So they're on a change of ends now. Maybe that was just a ruse on Ruse. So while they're doing that, let's do a little bit of this. G'day, welcome back to this Australian Open Live, and I think Karolina Pliskova didn't want to have a break, the change of ends. She's come straight out and started serving on me. And what you'll see there is serving at that second serve, 99 miles per hour, Karolina Pliskova. Maybe she wanted to get this match done and dusted, and well, who can blame her? Because sometimes in New York, you can be facing some pretty torrid conditions there with some heat and humidity. Not today though. It's just ticked over past 6 o'clock in the evening in New York. It's a very nice 25 degrees. There's more clouds than sun, according to the locals. And Pliskova serving at 99 miles per hour, according to the scorecard. And I'm hoping that it's not behind. I'll refresh the screen again. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Serves at 114 miles per hour, that first serve. This match been going an hour and 15 minutes. And Pliskova serving, and she loses the point with a double fault. My goodness. And she's also down on percentage in the second set on her first serve, that she's only serving at 60% versus Ruse on 62% winning percentage, and Ruse goes up 15 love. How many double faults have there been in this match? Where are they? Double faults, 7-6. So that's negligible, that stat. And Pliskova goes, well, come on, and serves a winner off her serve to go 15 all. And we'll follow this through point by point at this stage for you. And you can see that there on your screen, that scorecard. And there's also, if you want to see the point by point coverage, we can't scroll down on the broadcast studio software. So the link to the live score slam tracker on the US Open website, that's there in the chat there for you, as Pliskova wins a second point on a service game. And that is according to those that are there witnessing it. That is another. No, that is not. It hasn't updated yet. But she is now 30-15 up on serve. She is now on match point. Karolina Pliskova. She's aced, hit service winner, won the point, hit an ace. She is now on match point. So she knew what she was doing when she lost that last service game on the racket of Ruse. But serving at 94 miles per hour, that second serve to go to 40-15, 114 miles per hour off the racket of Pliskova, the 25th seed, to win this match. It is match point against Elena Gabriel Ruse of Romania. She's unseeded going into the US Open 2023 in this first round women's singles match between Ruse and Pliskova. The 25th seed wins that match point with a service winner And well done, Karolina Pliskova. She has won her first round singles match on court 14 in Flushing Meadow, New York. The women's first round match. Her opponent, Elena Gabriel Ruse, who is ranked 39 in the world. So very little between herself and the 25th ranked player in the world, Karolina Pliskova. So let's have a match review and see what's what. So don't go away. We'll be right back. We tell stories, and our story is tennis. G'day, how you going? If you're just joining us, where have you been? This is This Australian Open Live, produced by Wise Words Media. We are live in Melbourne, Australia, where the weather outside our window, just ticking past 8 o'clock in the morning, it is a disgusting morning. There is no sun. Has the sun come up? I can't see it. It is so dark and grey outside, it looks like it's about to dump the biggest rainstorm on us. But in New York, where day 2 of the US Open is the day sessions have finished. It's 6:06 in the evening there, and in the evening there's more clouds than sun. 25 degrees, pretty good if you can get it there in America. In New York, out on court 14, we have just been through the second and final set of the match between Karolina Pliskova, the 25th seed from Czech Republic, and in an hour and 17 minutes she has defeated Elena Gabriel Ruse, ranked 39 in the world. Very little, as we like to often say, the unseeded Romanian, very little separating her from her opponent who has defeated her today. But the story of the match, you can find that in the first set. She lost it 1-6 and then lost the second set 4-6. She did break back once in the second set, but she was unable to build any kind of momentum, the Romanian, and that's how it went. So what we're going to do is just have a brief look at the stats. We'll take a break, and then we'll just complete coverage, because we'd like to look at the bios of these players. We've been through the stats that matter. We've had a look at their lead-up since Wimbledon into the US Open, and we'll finish off properly with a look into their bios so we can learn a little bit about these girls, because that's why at this Australian Open Live we like looking at the players who are a little or a lot off Broadway, because that's how we learn about them, because there's a lot of talent throughout the top 100 outside the main draw, and especially just outside the top 100 into the top 250 sometimes. Some of those players could be the champions of tomorrow, or they could be the journeymen or journeywomen of the future, as the ranks of those names that we know so well on both sides, men's and women's tennis, as those names eventually they will move into the next chapter of their lives and become part of the rich tapestry of history that is men's and women's elite level tennis. So before we go into the stats, let's go do this. And and whenever you hear that stinger, we're just switching it up a gear, so pay attention, because there's the scorecard. That is how the match panned out there between these two. And while we're going through the stats for this match, you can follow along. I can't scroll down to the stats there below the screen with this broadcast studio software. So I've put in the chat. I have put there for you I've put there for you. You can scroll down, check out the stats yourself as we go through them. You're more than welcome to, because in the background, for those of you who like to be visually engaged, let's see if I get it right this time. We're going to go through just the Shotmaker Showcase from previous coverage that we've brought you at the Australian Open. And let's take a look at an American in action in qualifying at Bendigo in regional Victoria for the 2022 Australian Open. Jamie Loeb came up against the Australian Catherine Aulier that day. And I'll switch off the sound here because it'll just be too confusing to have the commentary going in the background for that match. But just to give you an example of the type of coverage we like to bring you, not just from Melbourne Park, but also from the lead-up tournaments, the Challenger tournaments, where the qualifiers were taking place that year. So feast your eyes on that as we learn a little bit more about how this match panned out between Pliskova, the 25th seed, the player from Czech Republic, defeating in two straight sets Elena Gabriel Ruse. So 11 aces to 3 in favour of Pliskova, but also she had more double faults than the Romanian, and the Romanian was just shading. Just a shade ahead on first serve percentage in 62 to 60%, but probably a little bit of bias in this next stat because of the easy first set victory by Pliskova. She was putting in 83% of her first serves to win those points. Not so good on her second serve. That's negligible, but she tried going into the net a couple of times, succeeding every single time she went in. And break points won. Not a huge stat here. Didn't put a whole lot of pressure on her opponent there, just winning 44% break points, but still nevertheless on top. Now, receiving points, she did, however, win 49% of those receiving points and hit 20 winners to 11. But the unforced errors, fairly even, both committing around 20 unforced errors each. But the total points won in the end was what got the job done for the 25th seed from Czech Republic. Karolina Pliskova winning 65 points in the match to just 46 for Elena Gabriel Ruse. So that is the tale of the stats, and when we come back, we'll do a little bit of, we'll learn a little bit more about these two players. So whenever you hear that stinger, we're just switching things up a gear. So let's just go into the background just to complete our coverage. We always like to do this properly, learn a little bit more about the players that we're covering. Our niche that we're succeeding at is just bringing you the players that are off Broadway, that we can learn a little bit more about the players that make up the rich tapestry of the elite level, the Grand Slam tour. Let's start off with Elena Gabriela Ruse. She's from Romania, and she's coached by Andrei Lulian Vespan and currently lives in Bucharest. She's ranked 39 in the world, as we said, and she plays right-handed and in her mid-20s. And her dad was a professional football player. That's soccer to us Australians. And her mum was a former gymnast. Geez, didn't Romania churn out gymnasts sweeping up Olympic gold medals just for fun throughout history. She enjoys reading movies, sometimes cooks desserts. Nice one. I'd like to sit in on those. And relaxes listening to music. Considers herself very ambitious. Well, that is reflected in her stats. In 2021, when the world was going bananas during the worst of COVID, she was winning titles as a singles player in Hamburg and Palermo, and also a doubles finalist in 2019 in Bucharest, which is no mean feat. And let's take a look at Karolina Pliskova. She's a little bit more well-known, a bit more of a name player. Plays right-handed. In her early 30s now, Karolina Pliskova. And she used to work with Sasha Baryin as a coach. Her fitness coach at the moment is Martin Nosko, and also Ivan Trebichka. She trains and plays for Sparta Praha Tennis Club. Nice work. Still gets around to the local tennis club. Bet that puts a smile on the faces of those kids when they get along for their Saturday morning tennis lessons. She's married to Michael Hudricka since 2018 Wimbledon, and they've as a couple, they like to go freshwater fishing. And she's got a foundation which its goals is to promote various causes, including pediatric oncology. That's a very serious topic. And kids battling cancer in her home country, the Czech Republic. She likes Czech pop music, and if I was having a conversation with her, I'd ask her for some recommendations, because I'm not too familiar with Czech pop music. And her favourite author is Paulo Coelho. And in the career highlights, well, where do we start? Where do we start with Karolina Pliskova? You could throw a dart at any number of these and pick out a title. She has won 16 times on tour. Let's take a look at these singles wins over her career. 2021 in Rome, Wimbledon, Montreal. 2020 in Rome. 2019 in Miami. 2018 in Tianjin in China. 2016 the Eastbourne Classic in the UK, as well as the US Open in 2016. How could we forget that? 2015 winning in Sydney, Dubai, Birmingham, Stanford. My goodness. And her first couple of wins coming in 2014 in Pattaya City, I think that's Thailand, Nuremberg and Hong Kong. She's also got an absolute slew of doubles titles, 5 in all, 2016 being the last one in Birmingham, 2014 Nuremberg, also Bad Gastein and Hong Kong, and 2013 in Linz. So a very well-credentialed player, Karolina Pliskova, and also representing the Czech Republic in their Federation Cup team for 4 years, starting in 2015. So let us know what you think. Oh, and I failed to do this. That sometimes gets past me. It's the little details that matter, isn't it? But it's too late now, because we've basically done as much as we can do with these two players. Let us know in the chat box. You only have to be a subscriber for a grand total of 60 seconds, and you can join the conversation. Let us know what you think of the prospects of Karolina Pliskova at the US Open, winning her first round women's singles match on court 14 in just on an hour and a quarter. That match was going, and she has progressed to the second round, so she'll be playing a new opponent in a couple of days, most likely on day 4, and heading into the weekend, towards the weekend anyway there in New York. The weather forecast for the rest of this week: tomorrow there's sun, a little bit of drizzle forecast at 28 degrees. Should be able to play through that. Thursday in New York is looking at 24 degrees. Sunny, cloudy, sunny. You write your own ticket as the clock ticks over to 6:18 there in New York. And the match on screen, if you've just joined us, it's Catherine Aulier, the young Australian, playing a qualifier against the American Jamie Loeb, who won that day at the regional qualifier in Bendigo. That's for the Australian Open. That was for qualifying for the Australian Open 2022. And that's just an example of the coverage we'll be bringing you for the Australian Open 2024. So let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll wrap it up and let you know what's ahead today. For the rest of today, we've got another match coming to you when the evening sessions start. But let's not talk about that. Let's do this. We tell stories, and our story is tennis. G'day, welcome back to this Australian Open Live, produced by Wise Words Media. We're based in Melbourne, Australia, home of the Australian Open at Melbourne Park, and we are living vicariously through our browsers. We are imagining we are live and witnessing the Court 14 tussle at Flushing Meadow, New York, that's just been completed between the 25th seed, Karolina Pliskova. She has defeated in straight sets, 6-1, 6-4, the Romanian unseeded Elena Gabriela Ruse, who is ranked 39 in the world. So don't let the seedings fool you. This is a classic example of the fine margins. It is so there are such fine margins between these players at the top level, and the very experienced Grand Slam champion, the former Grand Slam champion, Karolina Pliskova, too good, came out of the blocks after not the greatest lead-up throughout the US hardcourt season, it's got to be said. She didn't get a lot of match play, as we saw during this match. We had a look into how they were both performing, and if I was Elena Gabriela Ruse, her coach, I would have liked her chances today. But, she didn't take her chance in the first set. She went down 6-1, tried to get a bit of momentum swinging back her way, but it was... see, this is the trouble with women's matches. When you're only playing the best of 3 sets in a Grand Slam, when you get trounced in the first set and you're not on your game, it is so hard to come back and get things on an even keel. Anyway, that's how it went for her. And let's do this. So here is the scorecard for that match. If you're just joining us, where have you been? Oh, look, to be honest, don't feel so bad. We're a bit late ourselves because we weren't sleeping in. We were just trying to catch a win for Tottenham Hotspur, playing at Craven Cottage, the home of Fulham, and guess what? An own goal in the first half and a scuffed penalty, and they have also gone down and out of the Carabao Cup. Tottenham, Ange Postecoglou, the finest of margins, separating him from success this morning, and the fine margins at the elite level for these tennis players also no different. So we're going to switch it up a bit by letting you know that that's it for now for this Australian Open Live, because we're going to wind up this live broadcast, audio only, radio style coverage this morning, but we're going to have a bit of brekkie, and we're going to come back for the evening session. And boy, have I got a match for you coming up on where is it? Not court 14. We've just been there. Close that tab. It is court, the grandstand court. We've got a cracker of a match coming up for you when the evening session starts. Sometime after it'll start around about 7 p.m. local time in New York. And that's going to be about 9 a.m. here, local Melbourne time in Australia. It is the match on the grandstand court, the women's singles first round match between the player, another player from Romania, ranked 60 in the world. It is Anna Bogdan, that player, and she's coming up. One of my favourite players, the Australian Open champion from 2020. When was it? 2023 was it this year? Anyway, Sophia Kennan, the American, the local hero on her home court in front of her home crowd, and oh boy, I can't wait. She is a gun of a player. I love watching her play, Sophia Kennan. She's not everybody's cup of tea, but she's great to watch. So that's what we'll be doing when we come back. So hope you can join us for that. And if you can't, that match will be available on replay. We'll be covering it live. So please yourself. But we would love you to join us. Join the conversation. Hey, even better than that, start a conversation. Subscribe to this platform. Drop a like. Show us how much you like this coverage, because a lot of people do. Our local audience and our global audience. In fact, we are global. We have covered all Grand Slams this year. We were a bit slow out of the blocks for the French Open, but we've accelerated the expansion of our coverage over this year. We've been going a couple of years, and we're finding that this live stream broadcast coverage of these matches, the matches that are slightly off Broadway, because let's face it, the big guns in the media landscape, they've got it well wrapped up as far as coverage goes. So we like to focus on the lesser known players, and our audience loves learning about these guys and girls as much as they can. So the music's fading out. I can hear there in the background. So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. You've been listening to me. I'm the bloke who walks, and you've been listening to this Australian Open Life. And we'll be back in about 45 minutes, an hour tops, and take you through the next match on the grandstand court. Don't go away, and come back. We'll see you then. Bye for now.